In the vacuum of professional athletics, time is the only currency that matters. For decades, the world of female sprinting has been a fortress guarded by a select few. Names like Fraser-Pryce, Jackson, and Richardson have built a wall of dominance that felt impenetrable. But in the spring of 2026, the foundation of that fortress began to crack. The source of the tremor wasn't a veteran making a comeback or a seasoned pro finding a new gear. It was an 18-year-old high school student from Trelawney, Jamaica. Her name is Shanoya Douglas, and she is no longer just a prospect. She is an immediate, mathematical threat to the global order. To understand the threat, one must look at the numbers, because numbers do not have emotions and they do not care about reputation. On March 25, 2026, at the Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Championships, better known as Champs, Shanoya Douglas stepped into the blocks for the Class 1 100-meter final. The atmosphere in Kingston was electric, but the result was sobering for the rest of the world. Douglas didn't just win. She clocked a blistering 10.98 seconds. To the casual observer, it's a fast time. To the expert, it's a declaration of war. At 18, she became the first junior athlete to post a world-leading time in the senior ranks for the 2026 season. When a teenager breaks the 11-second barrier in March, the transition from student to specialist is complete. Historically, elite sprinters like Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce or Julian Alfred don't look for sub-11 performances until the heat of the summer Diamond League circuit. By dropping that time in the spring, Shanoya Douglas effectively bypassed the traditional developmental curve. She didn't wait for permission to join the elite. She crashed the party. This performance forced the world to ask a terrifying question. If she is running 10.98 in March while still in high school, what will she be running in an Olympic or World Championship final? But the 100 meters was only the beginning of the disruption. The true scale of the threat became clear during the 2026 CARIFTA Games in Grenada. If the 100 meters proved her explosive power, the 200 meters proved her legendary potential. Douglas didn't just win the gold. She stopped the clock at 22.11 seconds. With that single run, she erased a 13-year-old record held by Shawnee Miller-Rebo. More importantly, she moved into a tie for third on the World U20 all-time list. She is now sharing space with Allyson Felix. When your name is mentioned in the same breath as Felix, before you've even reached your physical prime, you are no longer a rising star. You are a titan in waiting. The physics of Shanoya's 200 meters are what keeps senior coaches awake at night. Her transition from the curve to the straightaway is reminiscent of the great Shericka Jackson. She possesses a rare combination of high cadence turnover and massive striding. In the final 60 meters of her 22.11 run, she didn't just maintain speed, she accelerated. This top-end endurance is the hallmark of a 200-meter specialist who can't be caught. In the current global landscape, a 22.11 doesn't just win junior titles. That time would have placed her in the thick of the medals at the Paris 2024 Olympics. She is already running at an Olympic podium standard. Now, we must identify the targets. At the top of the food chain is the old guard. Shericka Jackson, the undisputed queen of the 200 meters, remains the technical benchmark. Jackson's 21.41 is the mountain everyone must climb. However, Jackson is a veteran who relies on meticulously planned peaking cycles. Shanoya Douglas represents the chaotic energy of a new generation, a runner who is hitting peak times during her training phase. When Douglas lines up against Jackson, the pressure won't be on the teenager. The pressure will be on the champion to hold off a challenger who is 10 years younger and arguably more explosive out of the blocks. Then there is Sha'Carri Richardson. The reigning world champion thrives on psychological dominance. She wins races in the call room as much as she does on the track. But Douglas represents a different kind of challenge. Coming from the Jamaican Champs system, Shanoya is battle-hardened. She has competed in front of 30,000 screaming fans since she was 12. She is immune to the noise and the hype. For Shelly-Ann, Douglas isn't just another lane opponent. She is a reminder that the window of dominance in sprinting is brutally short. Every time Douglas drops a sub-11, she shrinks that window for the Americans. The most direct rivalry, however, is not with a veteran, but with another phenom, Adejah Hodge. On April 18, 2026, Hodge fired a massive warning shot with a 10.77 seconds world lead. This creates a fascinating arms race in the 100 meters. While the world watches the veteran stars, Douglas and Hodge are engaging in a private duel that is pushing the limits of human biology. They are the magic and bird of this era. Every time Hodge runs a 10.7, Douglas has to find a response. This internal competition among the youth is what will eventually lead to the destruction of the 10.6 and 21.0 barriers. What makes Shanoya truly dangerous is her versatility. She isn't just a 100 meters / 200 meters double threat. She has clocked a 52.60 in the 400 meters and a record-breaking 36.98 in the indoor 300 meters. This over-distance strength means she doesn't fade. In a tactical 200 meters race, where the wind is a factor or the pressure is high, the athlete with the 400-meter strength always has the advantage. Shanoya has the engine of a quarter-miler and the twitch fibers of a pure sprinter. It is a lethal combination that allows her to manipulate the race at any stage, whether it's the drive phase or the final dip. We are currently witnessing the inversion of the hierarchy. Usually, high school stars are expected to wait their turn. They go through the collegiate system or the junior circuits, slowly chipping away at their times. Shanoya Douglas has rejected this timeline. She is operating on senior time while still wearing a school uniform. The psychological impact of this cannot be overstated. When a senior pro looks at the world rankings and sees an 18-year-old sitting at the top, it creates a sense of urgency, and urgency leads to mistakes. Douglas is forcing the legends to change their training, to run faster earlier, and to rethink their strategies. The narrative of the threat is built on the fact that Shanoya is still improving. Biomechanically, she is not yet a finished product. Her start, while explosive, still has room for refinement in the first 10 meters. Her core strength is still developing. This means that her 10.98 and 22.11 are not her ceiling. They are her floor. If she can find another 0.10 of a second in her start, she isn't just threatening the top sprinters, she is threatening the world records of Florence Griffith Joyner. This is the reality that the track world is currently grappling with. Looking forward to the remainder of 2026. All roads lead to the World U20 Championships in Oregon. But for Shanoya, that event feels like a formality. Her eyes are clearly set on the Diamond League and the major senior championships. She is no longer satisfied with being the best in her age group. She wants to be the best, period. The transition is happening in real time. Every stride she takes, every record she breaks, and every time she gazes across the lane at a legendary opponent, the message is clear. The future didn't wait for its turn. The future is here. It's 18 years old, and it's running at the speed of sound. The hierarchy has been disrupted. The big three are now looking over their shoulders. And this isn't just the rise of a new athlete, it's the beginning of a new era.